Welcome to Museum in Lotus. We took a 1 week break because we had to organize many things, and for the fengshui calligraphy, pay attention to my Facebook. You know, good evening everyone. You see in my hand today, I've been saying it yesterday, we are going to talk about Meiji chocolate. They don't believe me. I said yes, and I went to the media and bought a lot of chocolates. We are really going to talk about the Meiji chocolate today. It's amazing. Have you had Meiji chocolate before, Mr. Pino?
I have not. No.
You have not? Well, friends who just joined us, this is the Tuesday session of life. We know that we sell a lot of things that are feng shui collections and first-hand, of course, but there are a lot of collections that we don't sell, but they are very precious, private collections by Master Yin himself, valuable antiques, and that's why I have with me Mr. Giuseppe D'Ingiosa, a passionate expert on this matter, to share with us what's going on. But once again, today I'm going to talk about chocolate. Mr. Pino, are you an expert on chocolate?
I can become very, very fast. So
Meiji chocolate. I just want a show of hands from our dear viewers today. Who is a fan? Number one, are you a fan of chocolate? And are you a fan of Meiji chocolate? I have with me dark chocolate. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so impolite. Would you like some chocolate?
yes, I would.
You have 3 choices. There's dark chocolate, there's a milk chocolate, and there's white chocolate.
Let's start with milk chocolate.
You like the milk chocolate?
Yes.
Okay, Meiji has it packed in the red form. It's auspicious anyway. Yeah, this is milk chocolate. Comes in different bars. Yeah. Who is a fan of chocolate? Or if you're a fan of chocolate, if you're a fan of Meiji chocolate, please let me know in the comments. It's very tasty. Mine is dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
This is dark chocolate. This is Meiji chocolate and it's dark chocolate. I was telling them yesterday that no, today's live is going to be about chocolate. And I take so many photos to prove to them that it's real, you see. It's milk chocolate. This is milk chocolate, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Amazing, yeah. Who is a fan of chocolate and... Okay, I'm a fan of dark chocolate. I'm a fan of dark chocolate. Hi, Jewel. Tonight is going to be a eating session. Geraldine is with us. Joyce left me a message yesterday to say that she's a fan of this brand. Jewel says, good evening, Mr. Khan and Mr. Pino. Serene Su is here. Hi, Serene. Serene, are you a fan of chocolate? I think all ladies are fan of chocolates, no? Ladies are fan of everything. They're fan of diamonds as well. They're fan of jade as well. That's great, yeah. Geraldine is here. Geraldine, are you a fan of chocolate? Do you like chocolates? As I was saying that I like dark chocolate because dark chocolate is it's an entire lie. It's a deceit. You know why, Mr. Pino?
No.
You know, it makes you feel as if you're not gaining weight when you're eating something sweet. It's funny, huh? People who want to lose weight, they shouldn't eat chocolate at all. It's the same as Diet Coke. It's weird. If you're having a diet, you shouldn't drink Coke at all. Yeah, what's the point of Diet Coke? I don't understand. Eric Kwai is here. Betsy, I hope you are feeling better. Mr. Khan and Mr. Pino. Oh my God, it's melting. Eileen says that like dark chocolate. I hope you like the Meiji brand. Anyway, this is not a sponsor. This is not a sponsored session by Meiji. I went to buy all this chocolate myself. You know how much I spent? All this is just part of it. I still have like 2 big packs. I spent over like $100 to near $200.
Wow.
To buy.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah,
very
buying
good.
chocolates. And I think yeah. Okay, who else like dark chocolate? Bertram says, Bertram tells me that, Bertram is a good client. He says that, drink chocolate protein shake for chocolate without the calories. I don't have the patience to do protein shakes. Thank you very much. Serene Su said like dark chocolate. I think ladies like dark chocolate. They want to eat something sweet, but they want to feel as if they're not gaining weight. Smart thing. Okay, smart product that they're releasing. And I think the chocolate goes very well with our laurent-perrier champagne. You see, Mr. Giuseppe, I'm giving you a treat here.
You are.
What a treat, yeah. Geraldine says that crave dark chocolate sometimes. I think there is this kind of craving, this thing. And this Meiji brand is actually a very long-standing brand. I brought Meiji chocolate here today. Not Royce chocolate, not Belgium chocolate, not Canberry. Not Canberry? Is it Canberry? I think it's Canberry. Not that, because of a particular reason, this Meiji thing. When we say Meiji nowadays, I think most people would actually remember the Meiji chocolate more. but there's a deeper meaning to it, which we are supposed to, as we eat chocolate and enjoy champagne, talk about it. But in any way, because I bought a lot of Meiji chocolate, hi Amanda, friends, Eileen likes dark chocolate. Betsy, do you like dark chocolate? Betsy, do you like dark chocolate, milk chocolate, or white chocolate? Wow, yeah. Okay, so Vincent, sorry. So Yvonne here has tagged 3 friends. Shannon is here watching as well. Thank you very much. Now, I have a lot of chocolates here. And for sure, me and Mr. Pino cannot finish it. I think even if we talked from Vietnam to Thailand to Laos to Myanmar to Japan, we will never be able to finish this chocolate. So you know what? We're going to give this chocolate away. We're going to give this Meiji chocolate to you, okay? And here's what we're going to do. Jenny, hi. Amanda is here. And Amanda says chocolate champagne. No, it's chocolate with champagne. Is there chocolate champagne? I have to ask Laurent-Perrier. I don't think there's a chocolate champagne. I
don't think there is. No.
But I think if you eat dark chocolate with champagne, I think it's pretty good.
Yes.
Correct? I think it balances the taste. You have Laurent-Perrier champagne, which is very fine, and then you have dark chocolate or milk chocolate that has more intense and more robust taste. It does that thing, you know. Betsy says that orange milk chocolate. You know, I have milk chocolate. I don't have orange milk chocolate. You're going to get the milk chocolate. You're going to put some orange on it. That will be your orange milk chocolate, okay? Yeah. Okay, here's what I want you to do. If you want to get Meiji chocolate, I think they come in different versions. I have here, you know, I have ones that are like bars, as you see. Can you see this? I have ones that are like bars. This is our dear milk chocolate. They have 3 versions. Milk chocolate. This is white. I don't know. I don't know what is this. Yeah. And Annie is with us today. Annie, 你喜欢吃巧克力吗? Do you like chocolate? I'm giving chocolate away. White chocolate. They have bars like this. Okay. These are like gold bars because if you open it up, it's like this. You know, it's like this whole thing. Okay. And do you know how deceitful this thing is? Because it makes you feel that, you know, I'm just going to take one small one. But usually you just finish everything. Very smart. And they have this as well. They have something like that. I think this one is a small little pieces you can share with people. You can share with others. They have the same version. They have black chocolate. They have milk chocolate. They have the red ones also. So, you know, I have a lot. There's a whole thing that is served here. How are you going to get this? Thank you, Betsy, for liking and sharing. Now, in order to get 1 box of this chocolate, you're going to come to Gary and take it. As long as in your comments you tag 3 friends, like what our dear Eileen has been doing. Eileen tagged Charmaine Chow, Janet Chiu, and Ray Teo. Thank you very much. Oh, oopsie. Yeah, and our dear, let's see. Yvonne tagged Happy Face C, Connie Zhuang, and Vincent Chu. So if you tag 3 friends in the comments, like what some of them are doing, then you get to have 1 box of Meiji chocolate. And I'll tell you why. Sorry, too much chocolate and champagne. I'll tell you why this Meiji chocolate is very different from the ones you have outside. Even though I bought it from Media, it's different.
In what sense?
Well, there I'll leave it to your expertise because I have to ask you about what is going on with this thing. But remember, yeah, okay, as what Kola is saying, tag Eileen C said I'm on my way there. Sweet surprise for you tag 3 friends as Eileen has done. Thank you very much. So I'll give you 1 box of this if you're coming down later, right? Yeah. So while stocks last, I don't know how many I bought because I went to Meiji. I just swept the entire thing. I saw it's Meiji. I just all the chocolate down. Nice. Yeah.
Very good.
Kind of feel that you're going to finish the entire thing before the show is halfway through.
Very
yeah.
good.
So if you tag 3 friends, please tag 3 friends now. You tag 3 friends. Like, see, you tag Charmaine. Charmaine is watching now. Hi, Charmaine. You tag 3 friends. I'm going to give you 1 box of this chocolate. Meiji chocolate. Meiji chocolate. Okay? Eileen has it. Yvonne has tagged 3 friends. Annie, thanks for saying that you have shared. Thank you. Other than you share, thank you. You need to tag 3 friends in your comments to get 1 box of chocolate. Go ahead. Okay? Please tag 3 friends and let them know what's going on. And share this good show around. Now, I was saying, too thirsty. I need some champagne. Cheers. Meiji chocolate. Singaporeans also know that there's Meiji milk. Are you familiar? Meiji milk. In fact, some of the kids, when they eat the Hello, is it called Hello Panda? I think it's called Hello Panda, right? Yeah, it's cookie. I didn't buy it. Hello Panda is cookie, and if you bite it, it's you know what it is? It is chocolate or strawberry flavor inside. That's Meiji. It's a company. But I think Mr. Pino, you have a different understanding. If I say Meiji, for instance, I say Meiji, you see, Ashley, thanks. Ashley, help me tag 3 friends. I'll give you 1 box of this. If I tell them Meiji, they'll think about Meiji chocolate. They'll think about Meiji milk. They'll think about Meiji Panda. Yeah, thanks Geraldine for tagging friends. They all know about Meiji stuff. But when I talk to Mr. Giuseppe and Josa about Meiji, it means differently for you.
Totally differently, yes, yes.
But chocolate would not be the first thing to come to your mind.
Not at all.
What comes to your mind when I say Meiji?
When you say Meiji, it reminds me of a period in Japan, extremely important, where the emperor from 1868 to 1912 was Meiji.
Oh.
Very, very important for many, many reasons.
Okay, so can we say the date again? It's from
1868
1868
to 1912.
to 1912.
Yes.
Now I want you to pay attention to these dates because I might test you later. Maybe you can get more Meiji chocolates, I don't know, yeah. So 1868 to 1912. And actually it was the name of an emperor. It's called Meiji period, that's why.
It's Meiji period.
So the emperor was Emperor Meiji.
Emperor Meiji,
So
correct.
what's so significant about this gentleman?
An exceptional man in many ways. If we just go through about his historical achievement, he did something extremely important. For 250 years, Japan before him had not moved as fast as this emperor managed to develop the country.
Right.
First of all, he basically stopped the caste system.
Ah,
He opened to the West to the point that in spite his own father did not want to open to the West, this particular person was so clever and understood in order to bring Japan to another level in terms of industrialism. He had to acquire the philosophy, the business philosophy, again, the industrial philosophy in order to progress the country
I see.
and bring it to another level.
I see. So this Meiji period, one more time, 1868 to 1912 is the Meiji period.
It's a Meiji period.
And somehow, this Meiji period, which Mr. Pino has explained, has brought phenomenal disruptions or evolutions to the Japan society. Before that, they were trapped for like 250 years.
Yes.
So they closed up, and they don't allow anyone in. And that's when all the samurais were happening. All the wonderful samurai stories actually is from that pre-Meiji period.
Absolutely.
But they were trapped and they were backward.
Backwards.
When Meiji took over and became the Meiji period, okay, nothing to do with the chocolate yet, but he revolutionized the country.
In very many sectors, including the structure of the government.
Oh,
Yes.
how so?
Basically, even the parliament was created during his period, and he was very revered by his people. This is an emperor, which is a divine being for the Japanese, revered to the excess, and he would go to work every single day from 8 o'clock until he had finished all his work, and people admired him. And of course, if the emperor does this, then I'm also obliged to do the best work that I possibly can
see.
and dedicate my time to the benefit of the country.
Okay. Well, probably an understanding, huh? So they can grab what's going on. Before Meiji Emperor,
Yes,
before 1868,
yes,
we already know that the Europe countries were strong. Russia, England is already in the Victorian ages,
yes,
strong. US already got its independence up and coming, yeah. And the rest of the nations. And China is in the Qing dynasty already.
Qing dynasty.
And then we have this Japan, 1868, still trapped from whatever they're doing. Then this Meiji Emperor took over, and his period lasts until this 1912.
1912.
what might be one or two incidents to show how powerful this Meiji emperor has revolutionized the country, has strengthened it?
I mean, if you consider, he had a very clear vision. I mean, he was not a simple man. He studied about Western culture, very, very detailed. But this is the person who wrote over and above 20,000 poems, basically inspired by the culture of Japan.
Right.
This was a man that could understand both what was happening in his country and what was happening abroad. And he had no fear whatsoever. If we just think, Komei, his father, was totally against the West.
Right.
And the son instead embraced the West and understood that that was the way to move forward the country. He had no hesitation whatsoever.
Right.
A man of integrity, I would say. I mean, the first railway station that was built during that period, it was actually inaugurated by this gentleman. So in the mind of the Japanese rural people in many cases, this represented progress. And actually he has been proven right, because since that period, not only the country industrialized, but look at the progress on a year-by-year basis.
Sorry, I'm trying to see that how many calories this bar of dark chocolate has, because, you know, as they say, they were saying that, you know, you got this craving thing. Oh my God, it's 288 calories. I got to stop, yeah. Oh, okay. Jenny says that she has tagged 3 friends. That's great. Geraldine has tagged 3 friends. Anyway, my friends here, today is about Meiji. I'm not joking. I told you it's going to be about Meiji. It's really about Meiji, and I've got so many Meiji chocolates here to share. But what you have to do is that you have to share, tag 3 friends in the comments or tag 3 friends in the post that you have. Of course, probably to the end of the show, maybe I'll ask some questions about that, what Mr. Joseph and Josiah has shared. And if you get it correct, then yeah, maybe you can get a box more of this Meiji chocolate. And by the end of today, you will know that why is this Meiji chocolate, that you get here, so important. It is definitely going to be different from what you buy in Takashimaya or Media. I will explain. Laura is here, Doreen Ho is here, Fabian is here. So if you are here, those who are here and those who are watching, submarining around here, please go and tag 3 friends, and then you will know what's going on. All right? So this is the Meiji period. Now, so a lot of progress since 1868.
Yes.
Mr. Pino, you mentioned that it's a period of prosperity and so on for the Japanese people.
Yes.
Yeah. And actually by nearly the end of Meiji's reign, Emperor Meiji's reign, in fact, they have really, in a sense, stronger than Russia as well, because they had a war and they defeated Russia. So it took them only less than 50 years, while Russia took like hundreds of years to get where they are. Under Emperor Meiji, within 50 years, they are stronger than a European country. It's not just a period of progress then, it's a period of breakthrough.
A breakthrough. I think you're absolutely right, that the Japanese have this way of life. If they believe in something, they will go through all the trouble that it takes in order to bring the results. And this is what happened during the Meiji period.
So we can summarize the Meiji period. I mean, for time constraints, for our friends to understand better, that this Emperor Meiji, 1868 to 1912,
yes,
this period is actually a period of breakthrough, of sudden progress, and of great prosperity. Because whatever that's happening here, or whatever happening then, affects what's happening to Japan today. Without Meiji, there would not be Japan today.
Would not.
One more reason to have this Meiji chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, the question I think in their mind is that what has the chocolate got to do with the emperor? Huh? This company, this Meiji company, is established in 1917, 5 years after Emperor Meiji's passing on. Now, they are capturing a lot of the sounds that I'm getting. Because he did such a great contribution to the whole of the development of Japan, that those people after him they revered him so much that this guy actually named the company the name of Meiji. So it is in Meiji's emperor's essence that this company was formed. Because it was this period that he encouraged a lot of people to go into business, to do commerce, to set up industries and trade. And that's where our Meiji chocolate comes from. So when you're eating Meiji chocolate, sweet, dark, milk chocolate, whichever that is, you are actually eating a piece of, I wouldn't say historical artifact, but a piece of chocolate with a great story behind.
Great story.
And a great inspiration behind. But of course, once again, the chocolate they're going to get from here, that's why please go and tag 3 friends in the comments. Tag 3 friends in the comments. You can tag 3 friends in the comments. If not, you share this post and tag 3 friends. Either way, you're going to get 1 box of chocolate. It's different because of this vessel or this bowl that we have here, right? Can I ask a simple question? This bowl and this plate, right?
Yes.
Are they from the same period?
Exactly the same period.
They're from the same period. They are from the Meiji period.
Exactly the same period.
So today we are using the Meiji. We have the Meiji chocolate, and we have the Meiji era bowl. Is it bowl? Can I say it's a bowl?
It's a bowl, yes.
This bowl that's containing the Meiji chocolate, it's also from the Meiji era.
It is.
And when you come here to collect your chocolate, Meiji chocolate, you will be on either of this Meiji era bowl or the Meiji era plate.
Yes.
I think the significance is huge because you are collecting a chocolate that is a symbol of breakthrough on a vessel, on a plate, or in a bowl that is actually from that era of breakthrough and prosperity. So, can you tell us something about this plate here? It's actually beautiful, the colors.
Amazing. This is a very beautiful plate. It's a very large plate to start with. And when we look at the base color of this plate, we can see the blue.
Yes.
But it's not only one color of blue. We have light blue, we have slightly darker blue, and finally we have very light blue. So when this plate was made, it was covered with this blue color, and it was then glazed. And after the glaze was completed and went into the kiln, then the decoration started. Now, when we look at the kind of decoration, we see so many different designs. We see so many colors. Now, let's try to explain what this dish is. And again, the first thing that I see a sort of path here, pathway. Yes. It could have been made in wood, the original. And look at how deep the blue is here. And this deep blue would be called ink blue, very much like the Chinese. So it runs this bridge from one side to the other. And to the other side, we see houses.
Yes.
And we see the details of the roofs. And the tiles are basically depicted through lines of gold. On top of this, we see, incredibly, we see palm trees. We see them here, we see here, and we also see them here.
Right.
And then my question is, are palm trees typical of Japan? They are. They are? They are. There are only 6 varieties of palm tree. And again, it's about the rarity. They wanted to capture something rare, but still very typical to Japan.
I see.
Now, we see at the bottom, we see waves, and we see basically water, which is surrounding all these parts here.
Right.
Now, as you can see, all these little designs, they almost look like clouds. In effect, my interpretation, these are just juxtaposition of designs.
Right.
The Japanese used to love a lot the combination of abstract and figural, pictorial. So pictorial are basically the houses, as I mentioned earlier.
The things that we see and we understand what's going on.
And understand without, and then what is not clearly understandable. Now, when you look at this wonderful, it looks wonderful part here, the top, it looks like a cloud. And then we see 5 pink flowers.
Right.
And all around we see arabesque. On top, we would see mountains, again blue. The intensity of the blue is very much like the pathway, and then we see waves. Now, as we come down, we see a white part. What can the white part be? Having expressed everything in the background in blue, the reason of that white was to basically give the idea of a sinuous running river. And the sinuous running river would basically provide water to the vegetation around. And the vegetation is expressed through 2 main colors. And we would see also the vegetation around the house.
Yes.
Now, there's a lot of gold definitions here.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether you can see it on the camera, but the one thing if you come here and see it up close while you take your Meiji chocolates is that I wanted to ask you when you were introducing about this, that the gold, what's going on with the gold linings?
Can I say, again, these are patterns very much appreciated by the Japanese. These are called the checker borders here pattern. And again, when we go back to the concept that I've just expressed about the tiles, the roof tiles,
yes,
by simple lines, the definition and the imagination of the tiles would be immediate to anybody examining and looking about this
absolutely
dish. A big dish, it would have been used for several uses, including the sushi that would be placed here. And this is just a simple representation of the dish, the front part. The rim here, again, is in gold, very beautiful. When I just take this, I would like you to hear the sound. Which tells me a few things. No airlines visible.
Yeah.
No cracks.
Yep.
In perfect condition.
Yes, it is.
And this is the front.
Yes.
Now, let's look also at the back. And let's see what the back has. Now, the first thing that I see is the color. And the color is a sort of a grayish, bluish, very, very pale. And the reason of this background is to, again, evidence very clearly the simple design, ink, blue. There's a little raised border, which is the base. And here we see character. We actually
Chinese words.
They're Chinese words.
I mean,
You're absolutely right.
You should be able to see it's Chinese. I'm not sure whether you can see it exactly how zoom in it is, but maybe you can come here and say, "Bye, please don't touch it." You want me to read it for you?
It would be nice if you can read it.
I can, yeah. After all, I was #1 in Peking University.
Oh,
I think I'll be able to read
that's
it.
very good. You really are of extreme help.
But no, I can read it, but to understand it, I might need your help. It reads, the left side usually is like 2 rows, so it reads 太明成化年制. The last 2 words 年制, that means that it's done in this year. The first 4 words 太明成化. So it's something, it's like Grand Ming Dynasty, and it's done during Chen Hua. If I'm right, Chen Hua it's Ming Dynasty emperor thing, yeah, the code that they go by. A strange thing, huh? This is not done in Ming Dynasty.
No. This is done in the Meiji period, as I earlier mentioned.
Which is what year? Meiji starts from 1868.
68.
So it was already Qing dynasty.
It was already
Because
Qing
Qing dynasty was
dynasty.
16 plus, yeah. So why?
That tells me a very simple story.
Okay.
And the Japanese are people who know how to appreciate and admire even other cultures.
Right.
And they knew that nobody could beat the Chinese in terms of ceramic.
Right.
And therefore, again, these ceramics were most possibly destined to be exported. And the West was in adoration with the Ming period porcelain and ceramic. And so this is, again, to express their reverence to the Ming, but also to try to associate the Ming dynasty porcelain, the Ming dynasty porcelain to their production.
I see. So this is made in Japan, for sure.
100%.
We know that it's done in the Meiji dynasty.
Yes.
The same name as this chocolate that we have here. But at the back, strangely, they have this 太明成化年制. That means that they want to associate this piece with the Ming dynasty when the porcelain, because Ming dynasty we all know, the porcelain is, the Ming dynasty started off as Muslims. Then they brought this is a story from our time. It's a white and blue porcelains over here.
Yes.
They had this high class skill since Song dynasty. They passed down, they inherit. By the time it's Ming dynasty, it's like amazing. So this one was trying to be associated with the Ming dynasty porcelains, and there we have here, but it's one that's made in Meiji period.
Meiji period. Let me tell you something that I find interesting.
Okay.
Sometimes they call this kind of porcelain, they call it arita.
Arita?
And sometimes they call it with another word, and that is imari. And it's very confusing for people to understand, but what is the difference between arita and imari? Is it arita or is it imari? Very, very simple. Arita was the place where all the kilns were based, and the production was there. But the port of export was basically imari.
Okay.
And that is where the confusion started.
Okay.
So people started to call imari what was a production from arita. So the two words, as far as this production, is exactly the same.
Right. Right.
Kilns
right.
based in arita, the port for export would be imari.
So what we have here is really it's not just a symbol, like the brand of Meiji, but what we have here is really that piece, that connection that we have with that breakthrough, with that great prosperity, great progress period of Japan modern history, which is the Meiji period, because this piece is the exact piece from the Meiji period.
Absolutely.
This piece is the piece of breakthrough. Don't break it. I mean, it's a piece of breakthrough, piece of prosperity. And I think likewise is for this thing, this bowl that we have here. And am I also right that, okay, you see that we are sitting on the Qing dynasty chairs, yes?
Yes.
But this is not the Qing dynasty, it's not a Qing dynasty cabinet.
No, it's not.
This is a Meiji period.
Again, Meiji period.
Today is fully Meiji, okay? The cabinet we have here is from Meiji period also. So this was done about 100 plus years ago.
168, 1912.
It's between that period, and then the vessels that we have, the plate and the bowl, they're also from the Meiji period. Of course, the chocolate that we're having is also Meiji. It's not from the Meiji period, you can't eat that. It's inspired by the Meiji period. So, you know, I think this is how history lives on, right? Not everyone has access to vessels or cabinets from the Meiji period. But probably every single day you're consuming history. But you didn't know. Now you know. But if you are a client of Lotus of Water, if you come here, then you'll be able to see and maybe feel things and relics of the past that are still alive today from the Meiji period. Right? So this cabinet is from the Meiji period.
Meiji period.
What is so special about these sets of cabinets?
Extremely interesting. Let's do a little bit of analysis first. So when we look at the wood, this is typical Japanese wood. It's called Polonia or kiri wood, which is a soft wood. Kiri, K-I-R-I, kiri wood.
Yeah, kiri wood.
Yes. Now, it's in very good, excellent condition.
Right.
Okay, it has that beautiful patina, which only the time and when the piece is original can come up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Because, okay, today is the 8th, I think it's the 8th episode of, am I right? Yeah, 8th episode of our not Art Beyond Museum. Sorry. Art Beyond Museum is really my core project. It's the 8th episode of Museum in Lotus. On several episodes, Mr. Pino has educated us about this thing called patina.
Yes.
From the dowry chest,
yes,
all the way to our dear Tibetan chest as well.
Yes.
I want to ask, so patina it basically means the wear and tear that makes it shiny,
it's
is that right?
wear and tear, yes.
The wear and tear that makes it shiny. Can it be imitated? Can it be faked?
Impossible.
Really?
Impossible. Impossible. A good eye, I wouldn't even say an expert, is in the position to understand the original from something that is simply a copy. It's impossible. And the patina, I think I mentioned it, but if I did not mention, it's an Italian word.
Oh.
And the Italian word was referred in the 16th, 17th century to what happened to plates which were made either of iron or were made in copper. Leave a piece of iron outside for a short period of time. You will see that they will change the color of the surface.
Right.
For instance, the copper
Yeah.
will develop the greenish
Yeah.
color, okay? And you would see the rust coming out from the iron. And then if it's cleaned and it's polished, it will go back to be an iron. But that layer will never come off.
Okay.
Never come off.
Okay. So patina is really a way to gauge and
Yes.
judge.
It's the passage of the time on pieces.
Right.
Pieces like this.
For friends or just, I see a lot of new friends watching. I haven't got a time to address them. Man Leong, Madam Lai Jewel, Lawrence, Royston. If you're here in the comment, as you see what the rest are doing, just tag 3 friends. You tag 3 friends, you'll be able to get a Meiji chocolate bar from my hand. No, not from my hand. You'll get a Meiji chocolate bar from this Meiji bowl or Meiji plate. So I think it's significant. You're getting sort of a symbol of prosperity and breakthrough from the artifact that is actually from the age of breakthrough and prosperity. And that brings us to this shelf that we have here with us. Meiji period, patina is obvious, and softwood you were mentioning.
Softwood.
Softwood, that means that it can't be, it's not very heavy, I'm guessing.
Not very heavy.
And it wouldn't be carrying heavy stuff.
It would not carry heavy stuff. And this actually is Isho Tansu. Technically speaking, it means that this is for clothes.
Oh, okay.
So, and interesting again, in the Japanese houses, there were no chairs, there were actually no tables, and there were not even this kind of tansu chest. These were stored in the opposite place in the house for storage and in warehouses, which might have been adjacent to the house itself.
Right.
And what went into this, as I mentioned, for this issue tansu, is kimonos. So what happened, that if we are considering winter, the summer kimono would be inside here.
I see.
To take them out in the coming season of summer. Vice versa, during the summer, all the winter kimonos would be inside this.
It sounds still very apt today, huh?
Yes.
Because, you know, ladies, they tend to buy a lot of clothes and they don't really use them. So they can keep it inside something like this.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful.
And interestingly, when we look at this cabinet, tansu, it looks like just one piece. made out of three sort of large and also deep
Yep.
drawers, the first, the second, and the third.
Right.
Very, very similar. All the ironwork is beautifully forged. And the difference between the Edo period, we're talking about 1603 to 1868.
Before Meiji.
Before, yes, that was the Edo period. Now, the facility that were available for ironsmith were very limited. They didn't have the expertise, they didn't have the knowledge of what was happening in the West.
Right.
And therefore, as soon as they acquired the knowledge, the technique, the tools, then the elaboration of all of details became more creative.
Right, of course,
And more interesting, if we wish. Now, when you look at this cabinet, it really gives you the impression of something strong, something beautiful, something linear, and all of these wonderful handles, they're all, these are iron, they're all hand forged, one after the other. They were not made 20 at the same time.
I see.
One after the other. And interestingly enough, if we can see, there is a sort of, let's call it a button, or let's call it the head of a nail.
I see.
And then, why was this here?
Well,
The Japanese,
right.
the Japanese were aware that giving the soft wood, if they didn't have a stopper for the handle, after a while, that would have dented and damaged again the wood.
It means the whole construction of this set here, it's they use a lot of heart into it. They are really thinking about a lot of details. Because even for today, where technology is much better, materials much more ample, this doesn't always exist. This thing here, this small detail here, hope we can catch it on camera, that it doesn't exist.
Does not exist.
So it must have been. So we can guess that, or phantom, that this set of chairs from the Meiji period, once again from the Meiji period, 1868 to 1912, that it's meant for someone who is probably an elite, probably is class. Because, truth be told, I mean, commoners, they might not be caring too much about this. Huh?
Yes.
This is meant for someone who is more on the higher stratas of the society,
Yes.
elites or aristocrats or people who can afford it to have that extra metal. This is extra material actually.
Not only extra material, but it's also to beautify. Imagine when these two handles are up for whatever reason. I mean, you see a different design.
True.
So again, it's to beautify. And now, when we look at certain details, in this case here, the corners, they're not necessary.
These are not necessary.
They're
That's
not
right.
necessary. These are not functional. These are for decoration reason. But the majority of the other elements in iron, they would be for structural reason. I mean, if we just look at this corner here,
This is necessary.
it served the scope of keeping together the three parts of the wood, which is the frame, the outer frame of the chest.
I see. Shall we open it to take a look what's going on?
I think it would be fantastic.
It can be open, right? It can be used.
Of course it
I'm
can be
surprised
used.
that after 150 years, a shelf can still be used.
Of course it can be used.
That's incredible because a lot of people buy from IKEA and after a while it can't be used.
And the
I'm going to be sued,
Tansuya master are those who would craft these cabinets here.
So the Japanese name for this is what again?
The master.
No, this cabinet is called the
This is
Tansu.
Isho.
Tansu Isho.
Isho because of the garments which were placed. We have to also appreciate they didn't have only one type of tansu. They had many types. Imagine that the samurai would have their own kind of chest, which would be low chest, and would serve to put their swords, the katana,
Yeah.
The katana is the sword.
Yes.
There would be cabinets to be used in the kitchens.
Of course, yeah.
There would be cabinets to be used to contain utensils for making tea.
I should have cut many different scenes from The Last Samurai, 47 Ronin, which they open. So all those things that they open, and they take out those precious swords or the katanas, those are tansus. Those are tansus. And this one is for clothes. That's why it's tansu isho. And
correct.
the people who make it is called tansuya.
Tansuya.
Ya,
Perfectly.
if I'm right, ya means house. The house of making tansus.
Yes.
So this is for clothing. There are other tansus that are around there as well. Weapons, as for tea making. Anything that stores anything, am I right? It's called tansu.
Correct.
But the work that we're looking at, the Meiji period, they actually have the luxury of making something like this plate, like this bowl that I'm holding the Meiji chocolate, and this thing over here, refined details, very on the point, our details pertaining to how functional it is. And now we are going to open it to take a look, shall we?
Shall we? Yes.
First layer, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
Yes, the
Four
four of them.
Okay, okay, smooth. Oh, the fragrance. There is this, for sure there's this wood smell, but it's fragrant.
Yes.
I was smelling something for 150 years ago.
150 years ago. And this, this smell would possibly prevent little worms to attack the clothes.
Somehow what they did, or the wood, you mentioned that the wood that they use,
Yes.
you don't even need to put thirsty hippo inside. How? How come? What do we lose in history? Why do we have to rely on so much of these ridiculous things nowadays?
But I mean, when you consider about what the Japanese used to have to protect wonderful robes, you know, the imperial robes,
Yep.
they would actually have camphor wood chest.
Camphor.
And why camphor wood chest? Because worms are repelled by the smell. And this is not very dissimilar.
Oh, it's very smooth.
Very, very
You got
smooth.
to come here to the gallery to try to feel this, because I'll be putting it somewhere significant. So you can come to the gallery on Thursday and beyond to really feel Meiji period. I think that you have heard about Meiji chocolate, and probably some of you are drinking Meiji milk now. But just to let you know that this is from Meiji period, 1868 to 1912,
Yes.
a breakthrough period in the history of Japan, the period that actually allowed how Japan came here today. And this chest with us is from the Meiji period.
Meiji period.
It's amazing. First layer, so you can imagine his clothes and so on, and iron forged handles. Let's take a look at the other layer. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Don't do it when you're here, because I'm scared. You guys are too rough. Yeah, it's terrible. And we have the second layer. I think it's probably the same. Third layer, I have a surprise for you, Mr.
Right.
Pino.
Wow. Let's
Yeah.
take a look. I'm curious.
It's, this third layer is it's going to be a bit more surprising, and it has got to do with you. It has got to do with you. So you want to watch this, okay? Let's take a look at the third layer. Okay. Okay, there we have it.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
There we have it. I'm going to leave it there for a while.
Gold lingots.
You know, you tell people that, oh, this chest just store clothes, but actually, you know, it's full of gold. This chest we have here on the third layer, I don't think we have time to cover this entirely today. There's actually more intricacies that I think Mr. Giuseppe wants to share about this chest, is that actually these chests are one set. We cannot say it's one set because actually these two and the bottom two can be separated.
Yes.
But probably you only have chance to come here to see when you come here to see it. Now, on the lower set of chests, I have placed these wonderful gold bars over here. If you're with me, you definitely know what these gold bars are about. Can I take one and show you?
Yes.
Can I just take one and show you? Okay. Would you like to hold on to one of them?
Yes, with pleasure.
Okay. Gold bars. Okay. This, our friends will be familiar. This is what we call the 5 path of wealth incense. They come to the gallery often, and then they light the incense around 5 different areas, and it's made of sandalwood. There's from 5 different regions. You see, it's plastic, but Okay, do you get it? It's a sandalwood scent. It's pure sandalwood. Okay, it's pure sandalwood. It's pure sandalwood.
Beautiful.
And we only have one vintage left, year 2012, the year of making.
Yes.
So it's about like 9 years ago. We still have stock for it. We used to have one more that's for 2013, but that is all gone, all sold out. Same rules apply. Those who are buying this, if you're my regular, my clients, is buy 1 bar, you get 1 bar free.
Oh.
So you get 2 bars, you buy 1 bar. And this is something that no matter what kind of feng shui you do, this is something that you should light in your house nearly daily, twice a day. And this will be only available during the June season, which is our anniversary, and this current December, January Chinese New Year season.
Okay.
So there we have this 5 Path of Wealth incense. I purposely put it in this Meiji period chest because, as I was understanding from Mr. Pino, that this Meiji period chest is a period of breakthrough and prosperity and great progress. So here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is this. If you like and share this whole live, and if you tag 3 friends, if you share and you tag 3 friends, you're going to get the Meiji chocolate that we talked about, okay? I'm finishing my bar, oh my God, you see, this is very tempting. For those who actually buy the 5 Path of Wealth incense, we will be storing your 5 Path of Wealth incense inside this chest, inside this chest of breakthrough and prosperity from the Meiji period. And on the day of winter solstice, 21st of December, which is about, oh my God, it's about 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, you will know that Master Yin actually re-blesses your collections and he blesses the incense as well. Master Yin will bless the purchased incense from the Meiji chest.
Oh, fantastic.
That means that your incense will not leave this chest. Once it's bought, you'll be inside this chest. And we will take the entire tray out because if you can't capture it, you have to see it. The Japanese in the past were so smart, so dedicated. I mean, they're still now like that this whole layer can be taken out with this. So it'll be blessed just like that, with your names on it. So those who buy the 5 Power incense, your incense will be blessed in this prosperity chest. We will keep it here. The earlier you buy it, the longer it has to immerse itself inside this prosperity chest, because I really think it's significant. We know about prosperity, we know about Meiji period, but how are you going to be one of it other than eating chocolates, right? Other than feeling this, now you can have a chance to be connected with the Meiji period and the idea behind it, which is the breakthrough and the prosperity. It takes a long time for a country to grow. But under Emperor Meiji, less than 50 years, 50, they managed to defeat Russia. And then in the First World War, they joined the Alliance. And they had great contributions back then. How did a country propel so fast? And even after World War II, they came back on their feet very fast. The Meiji period cannot be forgotten.
Cannot.
The Meiji period is the period of breakthrough and prosperity.
Yes, it
and
is.
Even till today, you don't know about Meiji, but you will know about Meiji chocolate. He is still living with us now. You can forget about Edo. I mean, you don't remember Edo period, unless you start watching samurai movies. But Meiji is with us all the time. So 5 Path of Wealth incense. Those that you buy, we are going to store it. It's not going to empty this. If you buy your 5 Path of Wealth incense, we are going to put it in this chest of prosperity and breakthrough. And on the winter solstice day, Master Yin will be blessing those incense that you buy right directly in this chest.
Absolutely.
It looks great, actually.
Very beautiful. But may I just add one more thing which escaped me?
Definitely.
And that is this particular textile.
Yeah.
This textile is not Meiji period.
Oh, okay. This is not Meiji period. This is Meiji period. This is Meiji period. This bowl here is Meiji period. Chocolate is from, just a couple of days ago, I think. Chocolate is from manufactured in, expiry date is 2022, so you have some time for it. But this thing, yeah. What is this actually?
Okay, this is the OBI, and this is what the sash that a lady, Japanese lady, will wear on top of a kimono.
It's a long sash.
Long sash, 4 meters 80 normally, and it will create the bow behind. Now, what is so beautiful about this? Apart the combination of the colors, apart this gold, which again reflects the gold that we have in this drawer, but this is about happiness, it's about wealth, it's about the future couple having a wonderful life together.
I see.
So all of this that we've been seeing tonight is a continuous reiteration. Meiji period, the happiness that the chocolate will bring, the two plates.
Yes, the happiness of the chocolate. Thank you for reminding me this. Yeah, okay.
that will bring these beautiful plates that, you know, you don't need to go to a museum. You can come here, just absorb, look, get your own idea, get inspired, go with your fantasy. Forget what I've said to you. Just immerse yourself, and you will find in yourself happiness, tranquility, peace, and prosperity.
I see. So this is not from Meiji period, but where is this? When is this OB? This kimono belt?
This is of the Showa period, and the Showa period is something that lasts for a long time. In my estimation, this is brocade. And the kind of obi, technically speaking, this one, as I examine, this is fukuro. There are various obis. I will not go into details unless maybe in the future we do have a collection of obi, and then we can examine them together, and I can tell you what I think about them. Now, when you come and you take a look at this, this is 1960s.
1960s.
This is 1960. Examine. There are peonies here, and then we also see deer. Deer running.
Really?
Yes.
Where?
Here.
Oh, okay.
Deer running.
Yeah.
Again, they're happy deers. They're free. There's no obstacle to wealth and happiness.
The deers, D-E-E-R-S, also means status in Chinese culture.
Status.
Yeah. And if I'm right, the flower that is on this obi is the peony.
Peony.
Peony also means status.
Status.
So I'm half guessing that this obi was worn by someone who is about to attain, or is either to portray her status,
yes,
or about someone who's going to marry into a family that has status.
Absolutely.
My guess. Yeah.
Definitely it's for marriage.
1960s. 1960s,
Yes.
1960s is when when Tokyo held Olympics. And it's when the first bullet train in the world was discovered.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Modern history, I still have a little bit of recollection. So it's really, again, a period of immense and unbelievable prosperity. And, you know, they say that, of course, in World War II, there was a huge setback, but the Japanese managed to climb back on their feet again, and, you know, just by 10 years, 10, 15 years, they have something as prosperous as this. It all went back to the Meiji period because of what was established back then. So this Meiji period is what we want to bring to you today. The chocolate, the plates, the bowls, the incense that is in this beautiful and wonderful chest. I mean, if you buy a lot of incense, then we have to fill the whole force. Luckily, we have 4 drawers of it, yeah? Then we have this whole thing. Right, our friends here are saying, Robin Ng is watching, Joe is saying the incense is even more what? Now that has been stored in this antique chest of drawers. Correct, but after this show, we're going to remove it. Only those that buy, those are bought, we will put it inside to immerse your incense, your bar of incense, your gold bars inside this chest of prosperity for you. So, we're at 8:29 now. Just now I dropped a hint. I said probably, you know, we might ask a question, that kind of thing. And if you get the answer correct, maybe we'll give you more Meiji chocolate bars. Yeah. So you feel the prosperity and you'll feel the happiness. And hopefully when you eat that Meiji chocolate bar, you'll feel that, okay, this is not just a chocolate bar. This is a symbol of breakthrough and prosperity. It's very simple. It's very simple, the question. When did the Meiji period start? I think we repeat it no less than 10 times today, huh?
But it's good.
Yeah.
To reiterate is important.
The question today is very simple. When did the Meiji period start? When did the Meiji period start? Okay, it's very simple. For the Chinese, it's very auspicious numbers, super auspicious numbers.
It is.
Of course, it's terribly auspicious. They shout these numbers every single day. Yeah. When did the Meiji period start? Is the question today. Okay, you get the answer correct, you get Meiji chocolate from the Meiji period bowl, from the Meiji period plate. So we're going to place it in. Then we have the first answer here. You're absolutely correct. You know, it looks like a 4D number, I must say. Mr. Pino, do you know what is 4D?
No.
Oh my God, how long have you been in Singapore? How can you not know what's 4D?
Sorry, ignorance.
Lottery?
Lottery?
Yeah.
Oh.
Lotto? Yeah. There's Lotto in Lotto in Europe, right?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a variation of this in Singapore that is called Toto.
Oh, Toto.
Yeah. Some people like get 10 million. But one wonders where these people go. But there's a softer version that's called 4D. That's called 4 digits. I mean, having spent some time in Singapore, you know that Singapore have this fascination with acronyms.
Yes.
Anything can be just shortened into three letters. Am I right? So 4D is called 4 digits. So if you, every Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday, if you get the 4 digits correct, you can walk off with a few hundreds, a few $1,000s.
Wow.
Some of them, if you bet higher, then you walk off with a few hundreds of thousands of dollars. I have a client who just recently won $200,000.
Fantastic. Well done.
Well done for him. Yeah, well done for him. Yeah. So the 4 numbers that we say that when did the Meiji period start, really looks like a 4-digit number. Okay. Can you answer? Okay, later. Yeah. Because it's very auspicious. Yeah. And if you get it correct, you can come by from Thursday onwards to get your bar of Meiji chocolate from this Meiji plate and this Meiji bowl. I think it's significant. It just feels different than when you go to Takashimaya and you go to Media to buy the chocolate yourself. It feels entirely different. Because if you get the chocolate from here, you just feel that this is significant. But if you, I don't know, sometimes if they get the chocolate, they might not eat it, because it's so trash. It's such a valuable thing. If you don't eat it, just don't eat it, okay? Watch out for the expiry date and so on. The question that we have, a lot of people are answering. A lot of people are answering a few times. All right. So if you answer correctly, come by this Thursday and this Thursday onwards to get your bar of chocolate. I think the Meiji chocolate is amazing. It is really historical. He has that great feel again. But once again, remember that this is a season for our 5 Path of Wealth incense. So if you buy it, it will be in this chest over here. It's full of gold. And of course, another thing that before we end the show today, I want to say that the champagne we have is Laurent-Perrier champagne. This is the La Cuvée, which we are familiar with. There we have it, La Cuvée. Now, Laurent-Perrier has actually launched a new cuvée, a new cuvée of champagne. And in the whole of Asia, or at least I'm correct, in the whole of Southeast Asia, you can't find it. You can only find it here in Lotus on Water. And this new cuvée is called Blanc de Blanc. This new cuvée. It's called the Blanc cuvée. This is the new one that we have. We are going to announce about how you can get this. You can't buy this. We're going to talk about how you're going to get this from Thursday onwards. All right. If you remember what happened to the what we call it, the bakwa, the rogan last year, we are working along the same lines. That in this season, if you purchase a certain amount, you'll get 1 bottle of this Blanc de Blanc champagne. And I must tell you, it's super limited. You can't find it anywhere else in Southeast Asia. The only place you can find it, it's here in Lotus on Water. So this Blanc de Blanc, it's very tasty, very limited, and this is what you're going to get. Stay tuned to our announcement on Thursday. Of course, if you're super keen, I must tell you, once again, it's very limited. I can tell you how you can get it, but if the first hundreds of people get it, then maybe we won't have much left. So you really want to be quick about this, okay? You can get a rogan, you can get a bakwa, and you can give it to your friends during Chinese New Year, but the Blanc de Blanc is a limit thing. You want to keep some for yourself, maybe you want to give one to your boss, or maybe your best client. and so on. I'll leave it to you to decide. Stay tuned to our attention, to our announcement on Thursday to see how we can get this Blanc de Blanc champagne.
Fantastic.
It's amazing, yeah? A night of celebration and a night of breakthrough and prosperity. All right, okay. A lot of people are answering when the Meiji period started. Finally, you know, some historical knowledge down. All right, it's been a great evening. A lot of things are going to happen in the next few days. And of course, next Tuesday, we are going to continue to have our museum in Lotus with Mr. Pino. We are going to another aspect of the Japan history and culture.
Yes.
A lot of exciting stories to share. So it feels like it's going to be a Japan season, huh?
It's going to be a Japan season, yes.
After all, you can't fly to Japan because they just closed their gates again. So why not watch my show, right? Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.